what does her heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy, and this is all the Easter eggs, references, and little things that you might have missed in the first full trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, we're going to talk about this trailer, and we're going to talk about the first teaser trailer, which we didn't cover when it came out.
Why didn't we do that?
Because we were super busy back then, buddy.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
That's right, high five. So first, let's talk about the original Avatar, because this movie came out over a decade ago, and some of you might need a refresher.
I wasn't even born yet.
Doug wasn't even born yet. So Avatar takes place in the year 2514, when Earth's natural resources have been depleted. The humans have gone to a planet called Pandora in the Alpha Centauri system, where they're mining a mineral called unobtainium. But Pandora is already inhabited by these natives called the Na'vi.
Oh man, I don't know what to do.
What's going on?
I don't know what to get my brother for his birthday.
You have a brother?
Yeah, he's my half-brother. Looks like me, but also a teddy bear.
Well, I'm sure you'll think of something. Now, the Na'vi are very communal with their planet. They live in harmony and balance with the world around them. Now, there are a group of human scientists on the planet who are studying the Na'vi, and they're led by Sigourney Weaver. The way they're able to study the Na'vi is they have their brains scanned and then put in the bodies of Na'vi avatars that can actually breathe the air on the planet. Now, there's this evil military guy who wants to get this large deposit of unobtainium that's underneath the Na'vi's great tree. This tree is basically the center of their entire culture. So evil military guy gets a former soldier named Jake Sully, who's in a wheelchair, to walk among them. He wants to use Jake Sully as a scout to figure out the Na'vi's weaknesses. But instead, Jake falls in love with a woman named Neytiri and is slowly incorporated into Na'vi society. He joins them and even gets his own giant bird to ride around. So Jake falls in love with a woman and falls out of love with the greedy military. So through a ceremony at the Na'vi's Tree of Souls, his mind is permanently transferred into his avatar body. So the Na'vi fight off the corporation, and Jake is left to raise a family with the woman he loves. Also, I should note that the Na'vi central to this story arc are called the Amaticaya. Hey Doug, I think I thought of a perfect gift for your half-brother.
Is it a small moon?
Even better. Get him a certificate from Established Titles. They're the sponsor of this video. Established Titles is a fun novelty gift that allows you to purchase 1 square foot of land in Scotland, which makes you a Scottish landowner. And according to Scottish custom, this would allow him to have the title of Lord or Lady. Now, my own land is on a private nature reserve at Edelston, and my purchase helps to preserve their woodlands. That's the really cool thing about this certification. It's not just a novelty gift, it helps protect the woodlands of Scotland. With every order, Established Titles plants trees all over the world through their charity partners One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. You get this certificate with an official crest and a unique plot number so you can see the exact location of your land. And then you will be allowed to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. It really makes for a terrific last-minute gift. I mean, just look at some of these reactions.
Lord Joe Green.
Yes! Lord Kenneth Delane Albert.
All right. Hey, look at that. You will be calling me Lord!
Established Titles is running a massive early Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use our code in the description, you get an additional 10% off. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack with my link will effectively be next to my plot or within walking distance. So, depending on how many of you guys want to be a Lord or Lady, we can have our own little ScreenCrush kingdom. Go to establishedtitles.com/ScreenCrush to get your gifts now and help support our channel.
All right, I'll get that for my brother.
Great. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Now let's talk about Avatar 2: The Way of Water. Now, in the first teaser trailer, we saw a human that could breathe on Pandora, but it looks like it had a mask. Now, this guy is actually Javier Spider Socorro, played by Jack Champion. He was born in Hell's Gate. That's the human base on Pandora in the first movie. He was adopted by Jake and Neytiri and prefers to spend time in the Pandoran rainforest. And the mountain areas seen in this first teaser shot are called Iram Alusink. Now, Jake and Neytiri now have 5 kids, 4 of which are Na'vi. Javier, who's the adopted human, Kiri, who's an adopted Na'vi, Neteyam, Loak, and Tuk. A new region of Pandora that we're going to visit is called Metkayina, with its own clan and culture. Notice that Jake no longer wears the Omaticaya traditional garb. Now, the roots of the trees in Metkayina are exposed, and the inhabitants use the roots to make pathways and walk. The roots could also symbolize the interconnectivity and being one with the planet and its ecology. You play a specific role in this world, and you are one part of this vast, diverse ecosystem. Your actions affect others, and everyone, regardless of species, needs to respect and nurture the land to also gain from it. Everything here is in balance. Kate Winslet is playing Renal of the Metkayina and is a free diver. Kate Winslet actually set a record for the underwater scenes, holding her breath for over 7 minutes, the longest for any underwater shoot. And there's also more human endeavors on the planet. There's active military manufacturing that are probably being updated to adapt to the Na'vi advantages. Colonel Miles Quaritch is returning, being revived by becoming a Na'vi avatar embedded with the memories of a soldier, also known as a recombinant. Now, in an interview, he stated anticipated that he would be the main antagonist for all 4 sequels of the Avatar film. The chief of the Metkayina clan is Tonowari, and his daughter is Rhea. Also, I'm probably pronouncing a lot of these names wrong, but forgive me, I haven't actually seen the movie yet. So this film's going to take place a decade after the first movie in 2164. Now the first movie had mountain banshees that were a rite of passage when you connected to them, and now we see the Metkayina have a variation of one that lives in the sea. Now turtle dolphin creature is also called an ilu, and like a mountain banshee, the Metkayina tether themselves to it. So this is the chief of the water clan, Tonowari. Now notice he has face markings like the traditional markings of the face in the Maori. In Maori culture, men receive matara on their face as a symbol of nobility. Now, as Maori believe the head is the most sacred part of the body, facial tattoos have special significance. Tonowari's markings could be a nod that he is chief of the water tribe. The fish that Kiri is looking at kind of looks like a mix of a lion pufferfish color pattern and a stingray design, or Willem Dafoe's character from Finding Nemo. Sigourney Weaver is back in the Avatar series, even though her character died in the first film, but she will be playing Kiri with seemingly no relation to her character Grace from the last movie. Kiri seems to play a large role as she is the one to hear a mighty female voice, as if she is the channel to Ewa.
What's Awa?
Well, that is the deity that Jake prayed to in the last movie using the Tree of Souls to help with his fight. Aya might have answered with having the animals help against Quaritch. Now, since Sigourney Weaver's character died in the first film and was incorporated into the World Tree, she could also be Grace. The trees connect the world to Ewa, so maybe Kiri has a piece of Grace's consciousness inside of her, or Grace's consciousness is alive in the air of the planet. This is exemplified by Kiri stating that she can hear Ewa's heartbeat in the trailer. She could have a special meta connection with Kiri, and Grace could be the spiritual guide for Jake to remember his path of unity, since she was an advocate for peace in the last movie. Neytiri is pregnant, but not at the end of the trailer for the fire scene. So this could be a flashback at the beginning of the movie, or maybe she lost the baby in a tragic fight during the film. Maybe Havaer will become simulated into a Na'vi body by the end of the movie, or they will keep him as a human to symbolize unconditional love. Now Colonel Miles Quaritch looks a lot like he has an eagle tattoo that he had in the first film, so maybe some of the traits of his human body are either transferred over, or he gave it to himself to always remember his grudge against Jake. The scientists made scans of people's brains to input into Na'vi avatars, so there actually could be more than one Colonel Miles Quaritch throughout all 4 sequels. Now the channel Heavy Spoilers had a great theory about this video. So with the series introducing this idea of recombinance, it's actually possible that the military could have the brainwaves of Jake's long dead twin brother still around. A struggle of the film could be Jake fighting against the humans, only to see that they've brought back his family from the dead and are using his own brother against him. They just need to find someone who looks really similar to Sam Wellington. Because Sigourney Weaver stated that the story is about family, about our families trying to stay together, and the lengths which we go to protect each other and protect the place we live. Jake's brother coming back could be a turning point in the movie for Jake. A giant whale-like creature will possibly fight the Metkayina against the human ships, just like the fauna helped the Metkaya in the last movie. Now because of the difference in regions, it's cool to see the stark contrast of the skin colors of the Na'vi. Because the Metkayina are more aquatic, they have a lighter shade of blue than the Na'vi, who are more aerial. Perhaps this could also be a trait to protect the Metkayina while they are in the water. Quaritch is crushing a human skull. Now this could symbolize how he has given up his old body and still pursues the Na'vi knowing their weaknesses. So one really cool thing I noticed in this trailer is the contrast between the blues and the peaceful tones of the Na'vi, and then we cut to the red and the yellow and the violence of the world of men. It's a great visual way to show the distinction between these two characters. Now Loak's love interest is Rhea from the Metkayina tribe, and he is feeling like he would be outcast for being a half-human.
Outcast. That's all they see.
Now this could play out as a Romeo and Juliet type situation where one tribe has conflict with the other, but with a theme of unity and preserving balance and the motivation of love between these two, the Metkayina will join the Omaticaya plan against Quaritch. Loak says,
The way of water connects all things.
Which goes back to our theory about the roots of the Metkayina trees. Now we see that the RDA, that's the military organization, have made a giant boat with propellers around them, similar to the giant airship from the first movie. It seems like the RDA had taken a page out of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s book. Now, like the shots in the teaser trailer with Neytiri climbing up a sunken boat, this could be the giant flying boat that she's trying to escape from. Guys, I can't believe we're finally getting an Avatar sequel. James Cameron basically took time off from filming this until the technology could catch up with his vision. We're going to see things in this movie we've never seen before. The underwater scenes are going to make Aquaman look like you dipped your Legos in a bathtub and filmed them with the GoPro. Hey Doug, did your brother like that established title certificate?
Yeah, I think so. Let's call him and ask him.
This is an amazing gift. Thank you, established titles.
Well, that's great. Well, if you guys have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.